as FoxeR does advance on in the tournament. And we are going to be following him. As spawning in the top left hand corner of Persephone, we have the red Zerg player. Oh, momento. Beautiful. We have the red Zerg player. We have the red Zerg himself. It is YoungYakov. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the yellow Terran player, with the yellow Terran himself. It is FoxeR. FoxeR. Here we go. As we're jumping into our best of 3, we're jumping into our next matchup here, and this is going to be a much more difficult opponent for FoxeR. YoungYakov, he is one of the up-and-coming stronger Zerg players in the European region. I think I would say that he's probably top 4 Zerg at the moment. Would I say top 4 or top 5? Of course, Eilte did step away. Eilte has been playing less and less StarCraft as of late. We've seen players like Wayne also step away and not be anywhere near as active as they used to be. I would typically say that Wayne would have been like, what, top 5 Zerg in Europe, but in recent times, I would say that YoungYakov has been looking to threaten, if not overtake Wayne, especially because Wayne has been less active. Meanwhile, YoungYakov has been on that grind. He's been on that grind, been competing a lot, competing and improving. So yeah, in the absence of Eilte, in the absence of Wayne, I guess I would say YoungYakov. Yeah, top 4. Top 4. So I would even say he's maybe in one of the favorites to win the entire tournament here. I mean, there's a couple of big heavy hitters, right? Whether it's YoungYakov, whether it's Shameless, whether it's Percival as well. There are some big names in said tournaments that we are mainly looking at to go far. We'll see if FoxeR can keep up. Oh, right. And if you're in the chat, it's Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we get into our TVZ. And so far we have our initial standard opener out of FoxeR. Likewise, Hatchgas pull out of YoungYakov as well. Pulls out of gas, claiming his third base. Third is going to be delayed though. Oh, yeah, delayed third. Reaper's coming in, and the drone should be hunted down. Oh, gee, that was very close. That was very close, but the drone does fall. The Jigs back. Does attempt to, but nice pickoff. Behind this third CC for Starport. Economic follow-up here by FoxeR. Does go for an economic build. As Lings to get across the map, they at least delay some mining. Delay, they deny. Oh. Catching an SCV. As Reaper's forced back home, YoungYakov does expand. And again, we'll see where our players are. Oh, God damn it. That is a second factory. My eyes did not deceive me. FoxeR is going into mech. Oh boy. So we do have mech committed here from FoxeR. We'll see what kind of mech he goes for. We have seen some success with more traditional forms of mech. We have seen some players make use of battle mech as well. There is a place for it, of course. As we have seen players like Ryung, and we have seen players like Clem slip into mech from time to time. But for now, the Hellions are amassing. And again, we're expecting Macfield accelerators. We'll keep an eye on FoxeR. First wave of Hellions moving out. So far, YoungYakov is joining, saturating. Transferring over towards the third base. Hellions are denied. And I'm still waiting to see what is done with that tech lab. Oh, true. Nice use of the healing pad. Meanwhile, it's going to be a lair first out of YoungYakov. So let's go for the 4:30 lair timing. And it is not Macfield. We're going into Blue Flame. Interesting. Getting into Blue Flame. Yakov does slip in, does scout some more of the Hellions. Some of them were pulled away in time to hide them. But I'm curious if he did take notice. Just he saw. Yeah, he did see the move with the Overlord. He saw the excess of Hellions. He knows. And here comes FoxeR. Blue Flame is only one even halfway done. He has to get past. Rushes past the Queens. Two of them do get caught up. Yeah, he gets choked up here, so 2 Hellions do fall. That is a big blow. Likewise, trying to get into the mineral line so far in Nice Sim City. Drones, they wall off, and we're not really getting much done here. Only 3 drones. Yeah, only 3 workers. Very nice defense here by YoungYakov. Very nice crisis management. As he barely loses anything. And it will clean up every single Hellion. Ay, ay, ay. Hellions that get cleaned up. There was so much potential with this. In the end, how many Hellions were down? 10 Hellions for 5 drones. And FoxeR, he's lost map control. Behind this, he's getting into his own battle mech. There's Macfield. And after the initial defense, so we do see YoungYakov getting into roaches. So it's going to be Lingbane Roach Ravager. Here's the go-to. Hellion's going to try to move in. And so far Yakov is keeping up. Blue from Hellions, they do get into the mineral line though. Up! Yeah, this time they get in. 5 drones, 6, getting up to 7, getting up to 8. So 8 drone kills. From here, he's going to be cornered though. Yeah, Yakov, he does flank, does collapse in and cleans up the Hellions. But that's still 8 drone kills. A much better run by this time from FoxeR. Still a little bit concerned though. Still concerned only because he's been throwing away a lot of units, a lot of Hellions. Moving out. Getting ready for his own run by. As the Hellion harass continues. Like No Show is just going to try to rush into the middle line again. Okay, Jocelyn creep. Jocelyn creep. Things they move out, they do run into more Hellions. And he is going for it. Oh my god. FoxeR, he's an animal, but yeah, no, worth it. The problem here is you do get diminishing returns. Your first or second Hellion run-bys have a lot of potential because they're a little bit more unexpected, but after a while, your opponent is going to get used to you. They're going to get accustomed. So that was a little more wasteful here from FoxeR. As tanks are getting caught, Lings they peel off into the mineral line. That's some decent damage. Yeah, FoxeR, he's racing back home, he was out of position. 10 SCV kills, 11. So 11 SCVs going down. Whereas Yakov, he's been able to join up to 92. His economy is now looking solid, and he's getting map control. So when it comes to mech, when it comes to this kind of style that we're seeing here out of FoxeR, it should be about turtling up on 4 bases and maxing out. YoungYakov, it's going to be on him to be the first to max though, and to try to break one of these bases, to try to trade ahead of time. The last thing you want to do is be passive, be defensive, and allow the Terran player to max out with a superior army. So it's going to be on FoxeR. Speaking of, sorry, it's going to be on YoungYakov, I meant to say. Speaking of FoxeR, he does push out actually. Has to be careful. Posturing with his battle mech. Yakov working towards ultras. Got an interesting tech choice. Going for ultra tech. There's a roach run by, but there are plenty of tanks back at home. Spain 0 in. Roaches A attempt to flank. And ultra upgrades are coming. So we're just gonna wait, chill, wait for ultras. More workers out of Yakov. And here comes FoxeR. He does max out. He goes for a mass on siege. Uh-oh. And no Vipers. Yeah, there's no... Oh, sorry. There are 2 Vipers coming in. Massive tank shots going off. And these blinding clouds are going to be crucial. Speaking of, covers 3 of the tanks. Does give chase. And still has some blinding clouds left over. Yeah, it does cover the tanks as well. Just barely. Oh my god. Most tanks get covered. Vipers pull away. And Yakov does take a better fight. Does take the fight. Oof. 20 more roaches in production. And Lings, they get across the map as well. This time there's a planetary, so Lings are going to find... Yeah, they cannot find any damage. Despite that, they do find some SCVs. And a Hellion. Even a Cyclone. Tanks are left on their own. Brutal losses. And the Vipers, I believe, did not survive. These are late. Yeah, late Vipers here. With the Vipers being so delayed, this army here is still looking terrifying. FoxeR pushing in. Lings, they find some tanks. It doesn't kill any though. It doesn't kill any of the tanks. Ultras have arrived. And the tanks are on their own. Where are the Hellions? Yeah, the Hellions are out of position. Without Hellion support, these tanks are falling. That's what, 5, 6, 7 tank kills. Ay, ay, ay. I think these are expensive losses. Yakov rebuilding, remaxing with Ling Ultra. Spain's just buying time. Oh, gets a couple of queens. Queens are going down. And the tank spread here, I mean, is spread a little bit thin. Lings, they catch more reinforcements. Ooh, and the Cyclones get caught out. Yeah, brutal connections. Cyclones get caught. Blinding clouds on the tanks. There's one blinding cloud left. Not even. But the Ultras, they hold their own. They hold their own. They break through the tank line. Every tank falls. And with that YoungYakov, he's snowballing out of control. He can chase. He has enough Ultras. Can't give chase. Taking down another tank. Barely do. I mean, these were expensive little trades here for YoungYakov, losing a little ultras as well. So not the cleanest trades. But something that we've seen, this is the 4th time at this point, the Ling Rumbais. Ling Rumbais in counterattacks. They're keeping FoxeR busy. Yakov is remaxing. And this time with this push, he should be able to break one of the bases. Behind this going into Hydras. Okay. Hydras on the way. Landing caught on the tanks. A bit of an awkward trade here. The Ultra does not get into the mineral line. Likewise, this run by can only really run into planetaries. Fox is remaxing. As Ultras, they tend to break through. Gee, they run into a wall of tanks, though. Respect the tank line, Batty. As Yakov, he's headed towards the mineral line. Banelings are catching the Hellbats mainly. Lings, they try to bust in. And hey, they're finding some damage. Okay. So decent damage. You get a full surround as well. And the planetary does fall. Not bad. Takes on the planetary. I'll be honest, I didn't think he could. FoxeR is committed. How many Vipers? 2. Still 2 Vipers. Still diving in. Oh, the Ultras are low. Oh my god. the unsieged tanks, they pop up. They're crazy. Nice Lightning Cloud. They're very nice towards the end. Efficient trades. Once again, FoxeR, he's having a hard time replacing this army. Having a very hard time replacing. As we just rally. Yeah, we're just rallying in, and with that, YoungYakov, he has done it. He covers the army, looking down the tanks. There's got 1 tank left. What a last pappy. Oof. And he breaks through. He breaks through into the mineral line. There's barely an army standing. Yakov is still rallying, getting into mass infestor, actually. Interesting. 9 more infestors on the way. Taking up into more infestors, into more Ling Ultra. Get ready for those fungals. I believe I'm sorry, I was gonna say he didn't research. Neural is done. Neural is ready. And again, FoxeR, he can't max out at this point. Cannot max. The Ultras have a harder time moving in. Finding how the tanks. Does catch 3 more of them. Oh, going for the abductions as well. Let's go for the abductions. We have the infestors burrowing in. Here come the Neurals. Let's go. Yeah, a bit of an awkward Neural, but there we go. Catching out a Hellion, catching out a tank. Looking to end it with style. Let's go. Oh, the Neurals. And with that, YoungYakov, he has done it. Breaks the natural, pushing into the main. Ah, no. Maybe not the best use of Neural, but it's fine. Do what he wants. She says, does he have micro bush out? He does not. He does not. GG gets called, and YoungYakov takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG well played. Again, a very intense game here out of Yakov and FoxeR. We saw FoxeR was able to eventually stabilize and max out, but took some really rough fights. Something that FoxeR was really lacking, if you notice, was anti-air. Vipers were the MVPs. Time and time again, we saw some crazy blinding clouds out of YoungYakov, and FoxeR, he never really did incorporate any Thors himself or any Vikings himself either. So anti-air was very limited, and there was very little to really threaten the Vipers of YoungYakov. Likewise, we were also praising the run-bys. We saw a lot of link run-bys, a lot of link counterattacks which were finding a lot of damage. Not just that, but we're distracting FoxeR from the main fights, and at times was allowing YoungYakov to actually take better trades. GG. GG well played. With that, we're getting to our next game. Going to be loading into game number 2. Let's go. We're loading into game 2 and spawning in the top side of Sandworm. We have the yellow Terran player, the yellow Terran himself, the American Terran. It is FoxeR. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Zerg player leading the series 1-0. It is YoungYakov. Here we go. As we are loading into one of the older TLMC 20 maps. Bearing in mind that OSC events, they do have a custom map pool, and they are incorporating some of the otherwise underutilized maps. We had a lot of fun times with Sandworm. Have featured it quite a bit, despite the fact that it did not make it to the ladder. For those who are curious, it does have a shorter rush distance by ground. There is the forward third base, which is a gold that is covered by rocks. You can knock down the rocks, you can open up the base and take that third. It is a relatively defendable third base just because of the terrain. You can see here we have rocks rolling off the top side. We have the dragon's teeth in the center. We have the cones that do also make it all good to move out and engage. So we do often see a lot of players actually take the gold base relatively early as a third or as a fourth expansion. But we'll see if we can get there. So now we're going to be opening up. FoxeR did incorporate mech last game. We'll see if he goes into mech again. We'll see. Also, I do apologize, but it happened during the finale of that game. But thank you so much to YoungYakov. Sorry, I didn't notice the notification. My apologies. But thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Hope you had a great time. Welcome, bienvenidos, one and all, as we are getting into our second game. While using these other maps, the OSC tournaments do feature an extended, or I should say a custom map pool. Basically, players vote on what maps to add. So Sandworm was voted by the players to be a part of this season of OSC. I say players, casters also vote as well. I think I did vote for Sandworm, I think. So we have extra maps in the map pool. And that's applicable to OSC Rising Star tournaments. That's applicable to the OSC mid-season playoffs, OSC King of the Hill, OSC Masters Cups, all the OSC events. They all incorporate the extended map pool for the season, and then every season they vote. They vote on new maps. But again, for those that maybe haven't seen Sandworm has been around for quite some time. Was a part of the last TLMC tournament, the last TLMC Team Liquid map contest, I should say. And we incorporated this into our tournaments for a while. So did Wardy, so did the Monday Night Weeklies. Unfortunately, didn't quite make it into the ladder map pool. Didn't quite make the cut. But was a lot of fun. as we're going for quite a big investment into this Ling run by. Let's go. Lings, they do surpass. They surpass the Hellions. They're headed for the natural. 2 Hellions are just about to pop out. And they just barely pop out. But Lings, they peel off. Yeah, they peel off into the middle line. FoxeR's out of position. He's racing back home. SCVs are going down. Brutal damage. Heli got surrounded. Yeah, he lost one. There's one Heli. Oh, sorry. The Hellions, they do get hit. They do get in. They do back off. One Heli gets caught. Just the one. And FoxeR, he will defend. But that's still going to be 7 SCV kills. Ay, ay, ay. That should not have happened. And YoungYakov does start things off with a lead. Now there's a lot of pressure here on FoxeR to find some counter damage. Behind this, going for a 3rd CC before Starport, so he went for an economic build. Banshee's going to be on the way. More Hellions are amassing as well, and there's a lot of pressure here on FoxeR to get some counter damage. He's gearing up. Is going to be Lair first out of YoungYakov, going Lair before Evo Chambers and before Baneling Nest or before Tech. As you can see here, these coins in the center, they do obstruct some movement, depending on the size of the unit. So Hellions can't move through them, but Reapers, Marines, and Lings can. So it does depend on the size. As you can see, these are more restrictive than the squares on near Violet Square, which have a little bit more space in between them. But otherwise, YoungYakov was going for his gold, taking it as his 4th. Baneling Nest is on the way, getting into Ling Bane. Likewise, FoxeR also getting to buy this time Namek. Checking Yakov's vision. It doesn't quite confirm.
Creep tumor under attack.
So gets in. Step 5. We do see FoxeR working towards that mineral line. He wants those drones. He wants them. Doesn't quite make it in though. Yeah, not quite. Queen does go down. Yeah, late rotation with the other queens. Busy with the Banshees. FoxeR backs off. Yeah, backs off. YoungYakov now able to join up. Even though the goal base is going to be a big power spike here for Yakov. FoxeR cannot just let it get up and running. The knockdown. Okay, we're building up that Ling Bane. FoxeR, I mean, by now he should be pushing, but everything was slightly delayed here. Medevacs are just now popping out. And FoxeR, he needs to be active. He needs to apply some pressure. Gets a couple of tumors. Get a couple. Not being zoned away. Now he's zoned back. YoungYakov now can embrace the goal base, so he should be the first to max. So 83 drones. There's a transfer. Getting to Ling Bane Hydra. And this is why I'm concerned for FoxeR. If he doesn't find any damage soon, then YoungYakov is just going to snowball out of control. Speaking of, does move in. Nice tank shots on the banelings. And nice target firing. It's a lot of banelings going down, but he still gets it. No, he still gets in. Oh my god, massive connections. 20 SCV kills. Ay, ay, ay. Again, very nice target firing out of FoxeR, but he only had the one tank. So despite his shots, didn't stop all the banelings. Ay, ay, ay. Now, thankfully, that does mean that there are less banelings to defend, but they just finished morphing in. He's on creep. Oh. Yeah, he's deep on creep. Banelings, they crash in. Oof. They chase back the Marines. And Yakov, he will shut this down. He has his queens to support as well. It's a lot of queens. Bit of transfuse. Oh, Yakov. Extending for a moment. Trying to stay out of range of the tank. He's just going to chase. Yeah, he's chasing on in. Banelings do connect. Tank goes down. And still getting a little bit messy towards the end here, but Yakov, he's still just rallying. As again, his economy is looking solid. FoxeR just had a shaky start. It all began with the 7 SCVs going down to the Ling run by. It was a really shaky start. And it meant that everything was delayed. It wasn't just that, it was two things compounding on each other. One, it was the Ling run by, two, it was the go base. So FoxeR was behind, stayed behind. The Baneling run by didn't help. Alright, now we're collapsing in the army. Oof. Catching our Marines. This go base should never get up and running. And Yakov, he can chase up the ramp. Oof. Mine shots going off. Banelings, they get into the mineral line. Marines being shut down. Oh! Oh my god. Mine shot doesn't quite connect. It doesn't quite go off. Nice spread. We can see the SCVs spreading as best they can. Banelings are preserved. And FoxeR is just scanning. He's scanning to see. He's looking at the economy, looking at the bases. He knows. He knows. And again, it was great to see a little bit more diversity out of FoxeR. Like to see mech in one game, but then fire the other. Unfortunately, again, for game 2 it was just a really rocky start. Game 1 was more back and forth, for sure. It was much more back and forth. Oh god. Banelings crash in. They break through the wall. GG, and with that YoungYakov, he will take the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations, Yakov. He will advance on into the next round. But bearing in mind, this is a double elimination tournament, so Prome, he got knocked out earlier. FoxeR got knocked down here as well, but they are still in the tournament. They still have a chance to redeem themselves to bounce back. So GG. GG, well played. Again, FoxeR and Prome, they're going to be knocked down to the lower brackets. YoungYakov will advance on into, I believe, the round of 16, if not the quarterfinals. Not the quarterfinals. So GG, well played. With that, we are now getting ready for our next set of matches here. Again, we have a best of 3s tonight. We have a best of 3s to cover tonight, so there's going to be a lot of matches, a lot of StarCraft. Winding it back, for those that maybe haven't tuned into this event before, this is day number 2. This is a multi-month long tournament. It typically does take around like 2 months to wrap up and to cover, sometimes a little bit longer. There's a lot of matches, there's a lot of StarCraft to get into. Actually, we can very quickly head on over here. Can we head on over to the bracket to catch up on our matches?